In today's video, we are going to be doing part 19 of What If Civilization Started Over. Now, this time, it's going to be different because I actually have a list of ideas on a whiteboard right next to me that I will be doing in order. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas. So, yeah. Let's start it off with, also I'm going to be recording this video for 25 minutes this time, instead of the usual 20 minutes. I used to do it for 30 minutes, then I bumped it down after part like 13, I think, or part 14. I bumped it down to 20 minutes because I'm like, I don't want to, keep you waiting for so long or watching for so long. So bumped it down to 20 minutes. I'm going to start bumping it up to 25 minutes because the next video is going to be an hour long, or that's how long I'm going to record it for. So I have tons of ideas. I'm going to have to create some more ideas because it's going to be a long video. I already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ideas for the video, which is actually the same amount as this video, but this video is less because 3 of them involves one country. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to first change this to, be this. Alright, now we're going to first have it done. First of all, I have it done a Wixo video in like 2 weeks, so 2 or 3 weeks, so I really don't remember what any of this is, or what the last stuff was. I just remember the war over here, the revolt here, which made the American country 7th strongest from the 3rd strongest. I think this happened in part 18. It might have happened in part 17, to where the South Asian country got demolished. But that's really all I remember. I remember seeing some expansion from the British country down in South America, and that's all. But yeah, we're gonna first see the British country start to take up. I don't know why I started all the way from over there. Start to take over more of Canada, and since it's such a cold place, they have to wait a couple years. They wait a couple years. And when I say wait a couple years, they started waiting back in part 16 when the war over here was going on in the Middle East, which is kind of crazy, not gonna lie. Such coincidence, you know what I'm saying? But no, the Meso-Indian War and the Indian to where the Indian country and the Mesopotamian country went to war. That started in part 15. It ended in part 16, and the end of India, I guess you could say, was happened. But yeah, they started getting their troops ready back in I'd say whenever the war started back in part 15 up until now. So they have a large brush because they've been getting people ready for the cold. I guess you could call this a Cold War. But no, legitimately, let's actually do something productive. But they start expanding into Canada. And yes, I realize I said it wrong. That was on purpose. But into the rest of Canada. Literally, this country wasn't here whenever they started getting troops ready. They, after being across the Atlantic Ocean, directly being the furthest you could away from this, at the same latitude at least, of the Alaskan country, they finally border them somehow. So that's cool. The British will have a lot of stuff happen in part 20. I already have it ready. It's the first thing that'll happen in part 20. So be ready for part 20, because it's going to be insane. Remember, if you watched part 10, I want you to know, part 10 was crazy. I mean, we found, or I think part 10 is when we made it to the Americas. And, yeah. Sorry, I just got really quiet. I forgot what I was going to say. It is, let's see, 2 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why I always record these so late, and I say that every time, still wondering why I record them so late. They start this little thing right here from both sides to try and meet up with each other. They do, and they take over this entire region. And we see the American country. Actually, we first see this new brown country. Get up to here. American country. Now we see the British country get to here. Trying to still figure out controls apparently. The Alaskan country gets to here. And then the American country takes the rest. There we go. So now North America is fully filled in. Literally the last continent to fill in is obviously South America, which is going to take a while because the Amazon rainforest, the mountain ranges, and the blistering heat. Blistering heat, or is it blistering? I think it's blistering heat. I don't know. I try to English the best I can, but sometimes I fail. Technically, I was gonna make a language joke, but I couldn't think of one, so you're just left with what I just said. It looked different for a second. So, yeah. That's the first thing that I get to mark off my list, so let me... Whoa, that sounds god-awful. Yeah. Also, at the time I'm recording this, I'm going to be posting daily, or I have posted daily motivational shorts up until May. So this video may or may not come out before May. I'm not sure. I just know that today marks 11 days, or no, because there's a 31st of the month, because no, it's only going to be the 30th because next month is the 31st. Okay, I can never remember which months have 31st so I just always go, I know July and August have 31 days because, you know, they're weird like that. And also February has 28, meaning that March is going to have 31st, or have 31 days. It has been nearly 10 minutes and nothing has happened except for, well, actually a lot has happened technically, but not much. Now the British is still going to be in play because I said a lot of stuff was going to happen to them. They're gonna send a lot of troops down here to take over a lot of South America, down here up into the mountains, to where they basically block the Argentinian country from moving any more north unless they go to war with them, which is the main purpose of this. They have been, sorry, I keep zooming out a lot. I've done that ever since the beginning. They have sent all their troops from Europe. Terrible idea. Well, not all their troops, but a good 76% of their troops from Europe all the way over here. Getting ready to... Well, actually, they don't send that much. They send, like, 55% of their troops from Europe, or this area over here. So, Europe, down here into... Hold on, let me get a more accurate... Because, you know, if someone wants to go by boat and they go south, it would be like this, because it kind of curves at the equator. And isn't it crazy? I just thought about this. Equatorial Guinea, which is right here, doesn't even touch the equator. It's more south. I think. Yeah, I think it runs through Indonesia. So it's north of the equator. But that's besides the point, because the British are declaring war on the Argentinian country, which, I mean, after the Falkland War, surprise, surprise, am I right? For some reason, every time I have the British do something, it's kind of crazy that they've already done it in real life. That's because they were trying to get how did we get here achievement in Minecraft, which is, you know, getting every effect at once. If you didn't know, if you don't play Minecraft, or if you just, which, I mean, who doesn't play Minecraft? Weirdos. Just kidding. You're not a weirdo if you don't play Minecraft, but you're definitely a child. Because real men play Minecraft. It's a proven study by no scientists whatsoever, but it's something that I believe. Which, I mean, is basically religion summed up, but into one sentence, but that's besides the point. That could be a controversial statement that I said, but because, I mean, I'm a Christian. This is besides the point. They take over their capital. That's all that needs to be said. They take over their capital, and they take over the entirety of the rest of their country. And now look at the British go. They are freaking... They're taking over the world again. Someone freaking call... Y'all hear that? My gaming laptop. Is it still blowing hot air? Why is it still blowing hot air? You're being useless. How did the air get hotter than before? That's what I'm trying to wonder. That's what I'm wondering, I mean. Okay, well, that was the second thing on my list, was for the British to annex Argentina. So now, I can erase that too. And the next thing I have the British do, yeah. All three things that the British do are in order. From the first thing to the second thing. They bring all their troops from here, and instead of stopping here, that's not the way to go. They keep going north, they go through here, they land here. You're not like wondering, why did they go there? Well, they also decided to move troops from over here as well, as if they didn't already have too little of troops in Europe. You could never take your troops out of Europe. The Spanish found that out. The Italians found that out. The freaking Germans found that out. The French found that out. The British found that out. Don't take your troops, your army, out of Europe for an extended period of time, because it will go south very quickly, no pun intended. But they have their troops over here. They decide, let's walk across the freezing weather after being down in, well, I guess freezing weather. It's pretty cold down there as well. So all their troops are basically ready for the cold weather, and they declare war on... Whoop, that's not how you declare war. You don't put a void in Canada. Why are we putting a void in Canada? There's too many problems in the world. We don't need a black hole in Canada. But they declare war on Alaska. The Alaskan country, not Alaska. That means they would be declaring war on America. And my eyes have been blurry all day, and it's bugging me like a lot. But the Alaskan country isn't a strong country by any means. I can't remember what they... Well, I don't know why I say by any means, because I'm pretty sure that they had a... No, they're not in the top 10, never mind. Or the top 12, actually. They're not even in the top 12. I'm going to keep this on standby. But you got to remember that the British country and the British country is... Hold on, I'm yawning. Okay. the British country is the third strongest country in the WIXO series, and the American country, which was formerly the third, is now the seventh, because their capital and their access to the Great Lakes was taken away from a revolt, which very, 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 very poorly impacted them, or very negatively impacted them. But that doesn't stop them from declaring war on the Alaskan country, because they need as much water and ports as they can get, so they start up here as well, and just make their way up, sorta. I don't know why they took a chunk out of the British country. It's not theirs to take. And they take all this land right here. And after that, they keep moving north until they stop right here. That's all they're going to do. So now, it's just the British country and the Alaskan country. So the British block the Americans from coming any further up. Which, I mean, their plan wasn't to go any further up. They stopped there for a reason. But they take over their capital pretty quickly. Man. Recording these so late at night is such a terrible idea, because I could barely talk whenever I'm recording them in the middle of the day. What makes you think that I can record them at night and speak perfectly fine? You must have a brain aneurysm. I mean, what? You must have, like, diagnosed stupidity or something like that. But they annexed the entirety of Alaska, and the British are on a roll. But we're gonna see something that, actually, I just realized that I don't have enough time to do what I'm trying to do, so it's going to be another two-part thing. So, part 20 is going to start with something happening that started in this episode. But the first thing we're going to see is that the Spanish, you're probably wondering, what's the Spanish going to do? They're the fourth strongest country. Remember that. To their south is the 12th strongest country, and to their north is the third strongest country, which they could go after this country, but it's a large country, and being a large country and the 12th strongest, that's not going to correlate. That's not going to, be the best idea, because they might run out of energy or whatever, or what machinery or whatever they need. They could go over here, but they have very little access, so they'd probably want to declare war on them to get a little bit down here before trying to declare war on this country, or at least make an alliance with either the Arabian country or the East African country. Or what they could do is go after the 7th strongest country, which by context clues of this video, not even context clues, by me literally saying it in this video, if you haven't been paying attention, it is the American country. Which means they're going across the sea to declare war on the... Actually, they don't go there. They go up here to declare war on the American country. And they start... Did not make it any smaller. They start right here. Which is not good for the American country, because that's actually... Whoa, of course it is. Of course it's going to do that. It doesn't matter to me. But the British decide, okay, I want me some of this. So they take up to here and stop. Because the Spanish say, hey, stop. We want some of this. We'll let you have some of it, but we want most of it. So their main goal is to get all this up here. But they start simply by just, going here, which I kind of hate that I can't just fill it in. I have an idea. Go ahead, do this. Do that. This. Boom, there we go. Simple fix. They take over that. And what the main, since I don't have much time left, let me unlock my phone again to see how much time we have left. I only have 4 minutes left, and if I want to start something big, I gotta do it quickly. So what really ends up happening is that the Spanish gain a lot, but we also see, let's first see what the British get, because they decided not to stop, and they got all this. Like, of course, they had to ruin the fun for everybody, but the Spanish get all that, and let me erase this. There you go. Look at that. America is slowly falling apart, which will correlate into part 20. We'll just have to wait. Over here on the opposite side of the world, kind of. Also, fun fact, I think it's from like Madrid, Spain. If you dig a hole into Madrid, Spain, you'll end up in like the middle of China or something like that. I can't fully remember, but supposedly. It's either China or New Zealand. I can't fully remember. But that's besides the point. We're gonna see the Korean country and the Siberian country go to war. Which, I mean, the Korean country is kind of at an advantage here because they are stronger by, I'm not sure how much. They are stronger, though. They are not in the top 10. Neither of the countries are, but they are definitely stronger. They are probably in the top 15, if not the 15th strongest country. I will make a short or something talking about everything, about every single country's, or actually, in part 20, I will number every single country for their military ranking, which will be a long time, which is going to be a large cut out of the video. I have 1:30 to start doing this, so yeah. Do y'all want me to just start it in part 20? Because I could do that. I think I'm going to start it in part 20. And just end the video here and just start recording part 20. Even though it's late at night, I think I'm going to start part 20. Because everything is on my mind. What I want to do. Everything that happened this episode is fresh on my mind. I did not do a military ranking this video, but I will next in part 20, like I said. But yeah, let's end this video off by saying thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, actually let me first show the entirety of what happened here. Alright, or the world map. If you did enjoy watching this video, please like and subscribe. Recently I hit 1,770 subscribers, which crazy. I was stuck on 1.64, like 1,640 something. I think it was like 48. I was stuck on for maybe a month or two. So it had shot up to 1.46 or 1.65. I mean 1.65, and then it went back down. But now I'm at 1.77, which means the world to me. That means I'm getting very close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm only 300 away, or 270 or 230, 220. It's actually 227, I think, away. As the time of recording this, but hopefully I make it to 2K before the end of the year. summer is going to be my grind time, which means Wixo video after Wixo video, motivational video after motivational video. And yeah, on screen now you can see both, or I don't know why I say both. I've been recording with BMR Goated too much. On screen now you can see the Wixo series, all parts. So it's very easy to access. You can also see my channel logo and a video YouTube thinks is best for you. Thanks for watching, and God bless.